Hola, estudiantes! Today we're going to take a look at the imperfect tense. So the imperfect tense is one of our past tenses. You have already learned a little bit about the preterite tense, and we learned that in the preterite tense, that's pretty much just for one-time events. So the imperfect tense we use when we're talking about repeated past actions. So in the English translations, you will frequently see the phrase used to when you're supposed to be using the imperfect tense. We also use it for background information and descriptions, really things that don't have a definite beginning or ending. Now, we'll learn more later about the difference between the preterite tense and the imperfect tense. For today, we're mostly going to focus on how to conjugate in the imperfect tense. So it works the same way as present tense conjugations as far as just taking off the endings and adding the new endings. So we've got a new set of endings to memorize for AR verbs: aba, abas, aba, abamos, abais, and aban. For ER and IR verbs, a new set of endings. They are the same for ER verbs and IR verbs, so that's good news for you. So they're ia, ias, ia, iamos, iais, and ian. And those accents on that A and abamos and all of these I's are really important. It changes just the pronunciation if you don't do that. So IA with no accent on that I tends to just sound more like ya. So we definitely need that accent so that we're hearing the E, ia, ias. And then one other note, the word I, we've learned there is or there are. That actually comes from the verb haber. So the imperfect for haber is había, to say there was or there were. So let's just take a look at an example here. I've got a couple of sentences. I used to visit my grandmother on Sundays. We ate chicken and drank tea. So we're seeing this key phrase here, used to. So that's telling us that these visits with my grandmother, these were repeated past actions. I used to visit her on Sundays. And then if you look at the second sentence, we ate chicken and drank tea. This is saying we generally ate chicken every time that I visited her on Sunday and drank tea. So we used to eat and we used to drink tea when we visited her on Sundays. So all three of these verbs, visit, ate, and drank, are going to be in the imperfect tense because these are things that I used to do repetitively when I visited my grandmother on Sundays. So let's look at how to conjugate these. So we're talking about I used to visit. So I is yo, and visit is visitar. If we go back and look at our AR verb endings for yo, it is aba. So we're just going to put that on the end of our verb. So take off that AR, add aba, visitaba. And then I used to visit with my grandmother, con mi abuela, on Sundays. So that would be los domingos. And then this next sentence, now we're changing our subject. So we is nosotros. So we ate. To eat is comer. So to change comer, take off that ER. And we want to go with nosotros. Comer is an ER verb. It is nosotros, so the ending is íamos. So put that on the ending there. Comíamos. Chicken is pollo. And drank, still talking about we. To drink is beber. Take off that ER. Still talking about nosotros. So same ending there. Bebíamos té. So that is it. I always send my students to either spellion.com or conjuguemos.com. Those are two good websites just to kind of double check and make sure that you are getting it.